Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy New Year's Eve. We have another short slate for tonight, a 4 game main slate. However, this slate is pretty intriguing. We have a lot of question marks with injuries, so let's get right into it. Drop a like and subscribe down below before we get started. And so, depending on what time we get these injury news, I might be back later this afternoon to make an update video because right now, a lot of the stars are questionable. Luka, James Harden. I assume they're going to play. And then the Thunder players are still questionable. Dennis Schroeder and Gallinari. So if they're out again, that would make Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous just absorb all the usage and become really good plays on the slate. But as of now, working with what we have, if Harden is in at 10-5, that would be a very tough price tag to get away from at home here. I know that the Nuggets are a good defense, but James Harden should never be under 11K or like 11.5, let alone under at 10-5, just way too cheap of a price tag on him. And then we do have the team that gave us the injury news, or most of it, is the Warriors. They're missing Russell. They're missing Willie Cauley-Stein, and Kai Bowman is questionable, and Pascal is probable. So that's going to open up a ton on the Warriors because Russell was dominating the usage rate. He gets like a 35+% usage rate. They've been playing pretty good basketball as of late. I don't know if if you take out Russell, it's going to go down a little bit, but they still have at least some of their better players in there. Like Burks has been playing pretty well this year, and Damian Lee has just been great when he's been given the opportunity. But right now at point guard here, I think Alec Burks is pretty appealing at 5,300. Assuming that if Bowman misses again, and Burks, I would assume would draw the start here. He's been playing. He's had some huge games when he has jumped into the starting lineup. A 40-point game, 48-point game, 41 against the Grizzlies here. He's been great per minute wise, about a point per minute. But take out Russell and you take out Willie Cauley-Stein, and if you give him mid-30s of minutes, he should be able to be productive. I like this game as a game stack here. Both defenses are pretty bad, and both teams have pretty underpriced players and pretty players that where the production's gonna kind of come from. On the Spurs, it's coming from DeRozan, Aldridge, and then maybe it can come from DeJounte Murray. And then on the Warriors, there's like 3 or 4 offensive players that are gonna be able to score the ball, and I think Burks is definitely one of them. Over at shooting guard, I'm looking at like DeRozan, 7,100. Shai Gilgeous, if the Thunder are still shorthanded, would be a really good play. Damian Lee, I like him a lot at 6,200. And I think Harris is probable, so he should be able to play. And then I think Glenn Robinson at 4,400 could also be a nice play at that price. But sticking with some of the Warriors that I like, Damian Lee is appealing to me at 6,200. He's going to play big minutes. He's been awesome. He's been really aggressive at rebounding the basketball. He's had a 12 rebounding game and a 15 rebounding game in his 2 out of his last 3. And take out Cauley-Stein, and there's going to be a lot of rebounds to be had here. So definitely think Damian Lee can pay off a 6,200 salary. I'm looking for at least 6x, and he has the upside to get you 7, 8x. Without D'Angelo Russell in there. Small forward, I think DeRozan, Barton, I like. Green, I think's fine. Rudy Gay's price tag is now up at 5,100. And then you could play Gordon if they're still going to be missing James Harden. But if Harden's in, I don't think you need to play him. Then Robinson's fine at 4,400. And Pascal's only 3,400. If he starts here, that could be a nice play. He hasn't been playing a ton of minutes. He's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. But if he jumps into the starting lineup, that would be definitely a nice value play on the slate. But right now, I think Will Barton or DeRozan will be some options at small forward. At power forward, I like Porzingis would be a great play if Luka Doncic is out. Would be really tough to get away from. I love Aldridge here, 7,600 against this Warriors team. If I'm loading up on the Warriors, it only makes sense to run it back with a spur or two. And Aldridge, I like him a lot here. He's been playing great. They're at home here. The Spurs usually play better at home. At least Aldridge has in the years past. He's been getting some blocks lately, and this Warriors team is probably going to be susceptible to a lot of blocks, driving to the basket. Aldridge plays good minutes in competitive games, and he's been pretty consistent as of late, minus, a bad game here against the Clippers, which was a blowout. But if you give him his 30, 34 minutes, he's been productive in the 40s and high 30s, and he definitely has a ceiling in the 50s. And he's been shooting the three ball a lot more, which is amazing. 5 of 6 last game out. The Spurs really never shoot that many threes, but awesome to see LaMarcus Aldridge been, taking that, be willing to shoot those. So yeah, I definitely like Aldridge at 7,600. At center, I like Jokic, 93. I like Capella if he's in at only 7,400. And I like Steven Adams if the Thunder are still missing Gallinari. And for value, you could play Jeremy Grant at 46. And Marquise Chris would be one of the chalkiest plays on the slate at 4,100, but well deserving. So, but I think Jokic here at 9,300 makes for a pretty good play. He's been playing well. And if Harden's in, I probably will try to get up to Harden over Jokic. But right now, I think Jokic is a pretty good corner piece of your lineup. Last time I only played 27 minutes, probably due to foul trouble. I haven't looked into it, but he's been playing solid amount of minutes here. And he's kind of looking like himself. Lots of 50-point games. You see a lot of getting close to triple-doubles. He has like 4 triple-doubles in his last 8 or 9 games. So he's been playing well. He's been shooting the ball a lot more. Against this Rockets team, they play terrible defense. And if Capella is forced to miss another game, then Jokic has a very, very easy matchup against Hartenstein. Then at forward is where I'll play Chris. Just 4,100 is just a lock play. Gonna play I probably assume he's gonna play 25 to 30 minutes here. He's been always been a good point per minute guy, and it's a great matchup against the Spurs. No Willie Cauley-Stein opens up a ton of minutes, so yeah, definitely Chris would be one of my favorite plays on the slate. And then Kai Bowman would be great if he's in. He's questionable with an illness. I kind of hope he's out so he can load up on the Burks, Damian Lee, and especially Burks would get a huge bump if Kai Bowman's out. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And then one more play at guard here. Let's see, like DeRozan, I liked him. Shea Gilgeous, Jamal Murray. They're all fine here. If we go cheaper, I like DeJounte Murray. Just to run it back here, this is my favorite game stack of the slate. Assuming that, things don't go crazy in this, assuming that Harden and Capella play, this game is going to have a lot of good things for fantasy. DeJounte Murray's been playing pretty well. He's jumped into the starting lineup. He hasn't cracked 30 minutes in some time. He probably could have done it against the Pistons, but the game did get out of hand late. But this is a spot where I like, just kind of a game environment where I like him. It's going to be pretty fast. The Warriors are probably going to turn the ball over at a high clip. And that's what DeJounte Murray does. He's going to be able to hassle whoever brings the ball up. Could be Burks, which might make it tougher on him, but I think the Warriors are going to spread out their point guard duties. He might even be on Draymond if he brings the ball up, but DeJounte Murray at 5,900 is going to be pretty safe in terms of a floor and his upside. It could be one of his ceiling games here, so definitely don't mind going to him at 5,900. So that's what I'm liking for Draftkings. And then Fanduel, it's going to be same kind of deal. I'm liking multiple Warriors I will have in my lineup here. Starting with Burks, 56. Damian Lee, 6K. And then Marquise Chris at 4K. They are three of my favorite plays on the team. All three are pretty cheap. All three have huge upsides. At point guard, if Luka Doncic plays at 10-8, that would be almost impossible not to play against the Thunder. If Chris Paul would be a great play. If you could still play him at 74 either way, but I would feel much more comfortable playing him if Schroeder is out or if Gallinari's out. If both of them are in, then I don't think you need to play him. DeJounte Murray is also pretty appealing here on FanDuel at 5,700. You get those extra points for blocks and steals. And like I said, this is a great spot for him to just go off. If I'm playing multiple Warriors, it makes sense to play at least multiple Spurs or at least one Spur. And DeJounte Murray's at the top of my list. And then at center, like Jokic at 93. You shouldn't be the same price tag as he is on Fanduel than Draftkings. So he's underpriced here on Fanduel. I think you could also play Steven Adams, 6,200. And Capella is fine too, although $1,400 you could just get up to Jokic if you want. But I'm looking at Jokic, Capella, and Adams are my three options at center for Fanduel. And that's it for this video. Like I said, I'll probably be back later this afternoon. Once we get some clarity on these injury news, it's kind of tough to do a breakdown, when all the stars are questionable. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.